You might not think twice about them, but forklift batteries. The global market in 2025 is, well, surprisingly big. USD 2.36 billion.
Yeah, it's a hefty number.
Definitely. So, okay, let's unpack this because this deep dive using a brand new 2025 report, it's going to reveal how this, seemingly niche area actually plugs into some really significant shifts. Economics, technology.
Yeah,
It gives a surprisingly clear snapshot.
exactly. We've got this market research report here, and it's packed, full of the latest data analysis projections for the whole industry.
So what's our goal for the listener?
Well, basically to extract the key insights so you can grasp the current scale, sure, but also the future trajectory of this market.
Right.
We'll look at what's driving the growth, the different battery types out there, which industries are the biggest consumers, and geographically where the action is.
Think of it as getting a handle on a vital cog in global commerce, maybe. Logistics. Without needing a PhD in batteries.
Precisely. A shortcut to understanding a key piece of the puzzle.
So let's get right into it then. That USD 2.36 billion figure for 2025, it's impressive, but the real story, usually, is where things are headed. What's the forecast showing?
Ah, well, that's where it gets fascinating. The anticipated expansion. The report projects the global market will hit USD 318.63 million by 2033.
Wow, okay. That's quite a jump, nearly 4 billion.
It is. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, that's substantial growth in what, might initially seem like a very specific industrial sector. It really highlights a fundamental reliance on this tech that's only increasing.
And this isn't just a flash in the pan, right? It sounds like a sustained climb. The report mentioned a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 6.20% from 2025 to 2033. What does that tell us?
That's right, a TGR 6.20%. That points to a really consistent average annual growth rate over that whole 8-year period.
So roughly 6% growth each year, compounding.
Exactly. It builds on itself. It's a steady, significant upward trend. And the report's timeline gives good context, too. The base year for calculations is 2024. It includes historical data from 2021 to 2024 and then looks forward to that 2033 projection. So a solid 8-year forecast window.
Okay, so a healthy, expanding global market. Now let's zoom in a bit. Geographically, where's the bulk of this forklift battery action taking place right now in 2025?
Right. Looking at the 2025 market share, North America actually holds the largest slice. We're talking over 40% of the global market.
40%, okay.
Yeah, that translates to about USD 873.20 million. Europe follows with over 30%. That's USD 684.40 million.
Still very significant.
Definitely. Then the Asia-Pacific region, APAC, comes in third at around 23%, which is USD 566.40 million.
And the rest, smaller pieces.
Much smaller, relatively speaking. South America accounts for just over 5%, the Middle East around 2%, and Africa is approximately 1%.
So North America and Europe are clearly the current powerhouses. But I think I remember the report hinting at some interesting shifts when you look at the growth rates. Sounds like the map might look a bit different down the line.
That's a really important point, yeah. About the future landscape. While North America and Europe dominate now in size, APAC is absolutely the region to watch for growth.
Because of that higher CAGR.
Exactly. Its projected CAGR is 8.9% from 2025 to 2033. That's significantly higher than the others.
Almost 9%, wow.
It suggests a really rapid increase in demand and market activity over there. But South America and the Middle East also show strong potential, with KGRs of 6.9% and 7.5% respectively.
So they're outpacing the more mature markets.
They are. North America's CGR is 4.7%, Europe's 5.3%. So yes, even Africa, though it's starting from a smaller base, has a solid projected growth rate of 6.5%.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Developing economies often have more room for that kind of rapid expansion. Okay, so within these big regions, can we drill down? Are there specific countries really driving these numbers?
Absolutely. Let's focus on North America first. The U.S. is the clear leader, no surprise there. Market size of USD 688.95 million in 2025 with a 4.5% CGR. Canada follows with about USD 104.78 million, but a slightly stronger growth rate, 5.5%. And Mexico is at USD 79.46 million with a 5.2% CAGR.
And Europe, who leads there?
Over in Europe, Germany tops the list, USD 135.51 million, 5.5% CAGR. The UK is close behind, though, USD 114.98 million, and actually a slightly higher growth rate at 6.1%.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Russia still has a significant market, USD 106.08 million, though its TGR is a bit more modest, 4.3%. The rest of Europe collectively makes up about USD 95.82 million with a 4.0% CAGR.
And that includes includes places like Italy, Spain, France.
Exactly. Italy, Spain, France, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, even Luxembourg, they all contribute to that European total, each with their own specific market size and growth rate.
It's fascinating seeing those different paces, even within a relatively established market like Europe. Now, what about APAC? That's the one with the really impressive overall growth. Which countries are pulling that average up?
Right, APAC. Well, China is the dominant force there, a market size of USD 237.89 million in 2025 and a very robust TAGR of 8.4%.
Big market, strong growth.
Definitely. Japan and South Korea also have substantial markets and solid growth rates, 7.4% and 8.0% CAGR respectively.
Okay.
But India is a real standout. Its projected CAGR is 10.8%.
10.8%.
Yeah, from a 2025 market size of USD 56.64 million. That kind of growth really suggests a rapidly expanding industrial and logistics sector there.
Absolutely.
And it's not just India. Australia, Southeast Asia as a bloc, Taiwan, Singapore, the rest of APAC, we're all showing strong growth too, mostly in the 8-10% CAGR range. Really underlines the dynamism there.
India's rate definitely jumps out.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly then. South America, the Middle East, Africa, any particular leaders?
Sure. In South America, Brazil leads.
Mhm.
USD 38.38 million, 7.5% CAGR. Argentina's next, actually with a slightly higher growth rate, 7.8%. Then you've got Colombia, Peru, Chile contributing too.
Right.
In the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have the largest markets and strong growth, around 7.8% and 8.0% CAGR. Turkey and Qatar are also showing promising expansion, over 8% for Turkey. Egypt's in there too.
And Africa.
Africa, South Africa has the largest share, about USD 18.28 million, with a 7.4% CAGR. Nigeria is smaller, but growing steadily too, around 6.7%. The rest of Africa makes up the largest monetary value, but with slightly slower growth.
Okay, that paints a really detailed global picture.
Yeah.
Hugh. Let's switch gears now and talk about, well, the batteries themselves. What actually powers these forklifts? So what are the main types?
Okay. The report identifies a few key types: lead acid, lithium ion, nickel cadmium, and then a catch-all others category.
And which one is dominant right now?
Currently, lead acid batteries are the most widely used. What's interesting here is it's not necessarily because they're the cutting-edge tech.
No, why then?
It's more about their cost effectiveness and a long history of just reliable performance in many industrial settings. Plus, and this is a big factor, there's a really well-established infrastructure for recycling lead acid.
The practical side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Logistically and cost-wise, that's a significant advantage. So for businesses where, upfront cost is king, they remain a very practical choice.
Makes sense. Sometimes reliability and established processes win out, at least initially. But the report definitely highlighted lithium-ion as the fastest-growing segment, right? Sounds like the future might look different.
Absolutely. Lithium-ion batteries are seeing a major surge in demand, and it's down to their superior performance characteristics.
Like what specifically?
Well, several key advantages over lead acid: much faster charging times, for one, longer overall lifespans, higher energy efficiency.
Okay.
They're also significantly lighter, which can actually improve the forklift's handling and even reduce energy consumption. And then there's the big one, the global push for more eco-friendly solutions. That's a huge catalyst.
Right, sustainability again.
Yes. So while the initial investment for lithium-ion can be higher, the long-term operational benefits, less downtime for charging, longer replacement cycles are making them increasingly attractive.
So it sounds like we're kind of in a transition period. Lead acid still leads for now, but lithium-ion is coming up fast.
That's a good way to put it.
What about the voltage of these batteries? Does that matter much in the market breakdown?
Definitely. The report segments the market by voltage too. It looks at 24 volt, 36 volt, 48 volt, 72 volt, and again, an others category.
And is there a leader there?
Right now, the 48 volt segment holds the largest market share. That voltage level is really popular for medium to heavy duty forklifts.
The kind you see in big warehouses or manufacturing.
Exactly. Warehousing, manufacturing, logistics operations. It offers a good balance of power and efficiency needed for those kinds of demanding tasks.
And where do the other voltages fit in? Like the 36 volt?
The 36 volt segment is actually seeing rapid growth. These batteries are particularly well suited for medium duty applications. Think walkie stackers, pallet jacks, the kind you'd often find in warehouses and maybe retail environments.
Smaller, maybe more maneuverable equipment.
Generally, yeah. Their more compact size and reliable performance fit well there, especially where space might be tighter. The other voltages tend to be more specialized. 24 volt, often for lighter duty stuff, while 72 volt systems are typically for the real heavy duty forklifts, the most demanding tasks.
Okay, so voltage is closely tied to the power needs of different machines and jobs. Now, let's think about who's actually buying and using these batteries. Which industries are the main end users?
The report highlights several key end user segments: warehouses, wholesale stores, construction sites, the manufacturing industry, and that general others category again.
And the biggest share goes to, let me guess, warehouses.
You got it. Warehouses account for the largest share, and this is significantly driven by the massive expansion of e-commerce. It's unavoidable.
Makes perfect sense.
The sheer volume of goods moving through these huge distribution centers needs efficient material handling. And electric forklifts, with their zero emissions, lower indoor operating costs, quieter operation, they're often the preferred choice inside.
It's a really clear link, isn't it?
Hmm.
More online shopping equals more warehouses need more forklifts.
And those forklifts increasingly need batteries.
Exactly.
What about the other segments? Wholesale stores, construction.
The wholesale stores segment is also seeing pretty substantial growth in demand. These places deal with large inventories, right?
Yeah.
And they're increasingly shifting to electric forklifts for efficiency and, again, sustainability benefits.
Right.
Construction and manufacturing are also significant consumers. They rely on forklifts for a whole range of material handling on job sites and inside factories. The others category might cover things like agriculture or ports, more specialized uses.
We've covered a lot of ground size, geography, tech, users. Let's step back again. What are the main factors really driving the growth we're seeing in this whole market?
Okay, the report points to a few key drivers. First, and probably foremost, is simply the rising demand for electric forklifts themselves.
Driven by that sustainability push. Strongly linked to it, yes. Global sustainability goals, companies wanting to reduce carbon footprints. Second, the explosive growth of e-commerce and the warehouse boom that followed. That directly translates to more battery adoption.
Right, the warehouse factor again.
And finally, those technological advancements we talked about, especially in lithium-ion, better efficiency, longer life, faster charging, it all makes electric forklifts a more compelling, more practical alternative to the old internal combustion ones.
Those all sound like pretty powerful tailwinds. But are there any potential roadblocks, challenges that might slow things down?
Yes, the report does mention a couple of notable restraints. One is the higher upfront cost. Electric forklifts, and particularly advanced batteries like lithium-ion, they just cost more initially.
Even if they save money later.
Exactly. The total cost of ownership might be lower long-term thanks to less maintenance, lower energy costs, but that initial investment can still be a significant hurdle for some businesses.
I can see that. What else?
The other key challenge is the current limitations in infrastructure for battery recycling, especially for lithium-ion.
The end-of-life issue.
Precisely. Developing effective economical recycling solutions is really crucial for the long-term environmental sustainability of this whole market shift.
Those are important points, especially as everyone pushes towards more sustainable practices. Okay, looking ahead then, what major trends are expected to shape the future here?
The report emphasizes two really significant trends. First is that ongoing, intensifying global push for sustainability. It's not going away.
If anything, it's accelerating.
Right. This focus on environmental responsibility will undoubtedly keep driving the adoption of eco-friendly forklift batteries and speed up the transition to electric material handling.
And the second trend? I'm guessing lithium-ion.
You guessed it. The increasing dominance of lithium-ion batteries. We've touched on it a lot, but their performance advantages are just becoming more apparent. And as production scales up, potentially driving costs down.
As recycling tech matures.
Exactly. As those pieces fall into place, their market share is likely to continue its rapid climb.
It really does sound like lithium-ion is the game changer in this space. Now, a global market this size, nearly $2.5 billion now, heading towards $4 billion, it must be pretty competitive. What's the landscape like among the companies making these batteries?
Oh, it's highly competitive, yes. The report indicates the major players are really focused on innovation and sustainability as key differentiators.
Makes sense.
You see established names like Enerseas, East Penn Manufacturing, Exide Technologies. They're significant players, offering both traditional lead-acid and increasingly advanced lithium-ion options.
So they're adapting.
They have to. That growing emphasis on greener tech has intensified competition, pushing manufacturers to invest heavily in R&D. They need batteries with longer life, faster charging, better energy efficiency.
Then are new players emerging, or is it mostly consolidation?
We're seeing some regional manufacturers expanding to meet local demand. And yes, mergers, acquisitions, strategic partnerships, they're pretty common as companies try to strengthen their product lines and expand their market reach. The whole trend towards warehouse automation feeds into this too.
It's all connected.
It really is. It's a dynamic environment.
Are there any specific recent examples, market activity that report highlighted?
Yeah, a couple of interesting ones that illustrate these trends. In October 2023, Hyundai Construction Equipment India launched a new line of electric forklifts specifically for the Indian market.
Tying into that high growth rate in India we saw.
Precisely. It shows the growing demand for electric solutions in rapidly expanding economies, and maybe the increasing availability of options across different price points, too.
Okay. And the other example?
The other one from July 2022 involved a Canadian company, Ugo Work. They specialize in lithium-ion for industrial trucks. They launched what they called the first end-to-end forklift battery management solution.
End-to-end, meaning?
Meaning it covers the batteries themselves, sure, but also related services and lifecycle management plans. It highlights the increasing sophistication of the market, Managing the whole lifespan, especially as lithium-ion takes off, becomes more important.
Those real-world examples definitely help solidify the trends. Okay, so to kind of bring it all together, what would you say are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive?
Right. In summary, I'd say the global forklift battery market is substantial. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's growing significantly, projected near USD 4 billion by 2033.
Growth is key.
Growth is key. The Asia-Pacific region is set for the most rapid expansion, and this growth is primarily driven by the shift towards electric forklifts.
Fueled by sustainability and lithium-ion tech.
Exactly. Sustainability initiatives globally and the superior performance of lithium-ion are the big fuels. Plus, that underlying boom in e-commerce and warehousing is critical context.
And lead-acid is still around, but
Still holds a significant share now due to cost and established infrastructure, but lithium-ion is very clearly the technology shaping the future of this sector.
So for you, the listener, hopefully this deep dive has given you a really insightful look into a crucial, yet maybe often overlooked, part of the global economy. It really underscores how interconnected things are, doesn't it? From how we shop online right down to the batteries powering the equipment, moving those goods.
Yeah, which leads maybe to a final thought to mull over. Given these rapid advancements, not just in forklift batteries, but battery tech generally, and with automation becoming such a focus everywhere, how might the role and even the design of these batteries continue to evolve over the next decade? What unexpected implications could that have for logistics, for manufacturing, sectors you might be watching, directly or indirectly? It's certainly a dynamic area to keep an eye on.